What's up, everybody? What up, what up?
Hello, what up? How's it going?
What up? Getting ready for a little show here. You know.
Hello.
Like you do.
Happy 343 Day, John Haley. That's
yeah. Funny. Got a little Halo reference today, yo.
A couple of them coming in, huh?
Yeah. Let's get a little bat signal action. I should probably do that. Almost forgot about that. Do. Who's filing in here? Who we got? Anybody here yet? Ooh, look at that.
Ding.
Matt, Brett, Thomas, Nick, Neil, Mello.
The Mello.
There we go. Where that chat? Live control room. Why don't I see the chat in there? Oh, there it is. That's weird. Tessa, what's up, Tessa?
Hi, Tessa.
All right. John Haley, Maria. Look at that. All the campers showing up.
Yay.
Cool.
Now that you've done it this week, we fully expect you to show up every week now.
Seriously. We know you're available.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
What's up, Cons?
All the things are out here. Cons. Facebook is good. Stream's going good. It's good. It's good.
What's good?
Good. All right.
Good? What is good?
What is hip? All right. I think we're ready to do a show. How about y'all? Are you good?
Oh my gosh. Mark getting all pumped up. Man, it gets him pumped.
Yeah.
Gets me pumped to talk about Cap.
Nick can show up for these now. He's not working during the day, you know. Got that sweet contractor life now.
Right? Ooh, I need a Mountain Dew.
For now, anyway. Mountain Dew. Got to get all hopped up. We all have energy drinks.
This is clean yerba mate, brothers.
That's
what I'm saying.
Let's all experiment with our kidneys.
Only got one left.
Let's see what happens. All right. I am a little hungry. I'm going back to intermittent fasting and the keto. This is Ketober.
Ooh, Ketober. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it should be like Detober, like Detox-tober after camp.
Right?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot more water.
Seeing all those pictures of me and how fat I was at camp, like I'm like, all right, I'm back on the train. I'm gonna start working out. Sorry, I'm not gonna start working out. I will never work out. I'm gonna start dieting. You know.
All you gotta do is run. Just go out the door.
I found this new diet. You ready? You feed your future self, right? So you figure out how many calories you need in order to maintain weight at a specific weight. So like right now I'm 220, I've lost a few pounds. I want to get down to 180, right? So I figure out how many calories I need at 180, and I only eat that amount of calories.
Don't you need a deficit to get down to that before you can do that?
No. That is
the show. We haven't started the show yet.
All right. I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to maintain a weight of 220, I would need like 2,600 or 2,700, calories. Technically, the deficit is the difference between what I am now and what my future self is. So eventually, it'll just be, there will be no deficit because I'll be at my weight that I want. I think that's the problem. Like,
I have questions, but
okay.
I'm terrible at math, Matt. So.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your questions.
My questions?
Yeah, this is how it works. I'm telling you.
If you're at X weight and you need a calorie deficit to get down to that weight, how can you have the calories for the higher weight?
So, no, it's
higher calories and still get down.
Okay, so for example, right now I'm 214 and a half, right? If I wanted to maintain the weight of 214 and a half, I would have like 2,700 calories, right? But I'm only eating 2,200 calories a day, 2,200 calories. So there is a deficit.
Oh, there is a deficit.
It's just
okay.
It's a very small deficit because it's based off of what my future weight will be, and it doesn't kill me because I'm not eating like 1,200 calories a day, but I'm also doing a ton of protein now that I'm on that medicine for my tum-tums, to make my tum-tums better, Now it's like I can actually eat fats and meats and stuff like that and not hate myself.
You're doing the beefcake from South Park?
No, I am doing like a protein powder and stuff like that. It's got like 30 grams of protein and put it with a little bit of milk. But man, I will tell you, just like you used to always say, like I'm full and I stay full for a while.
Protein keeps you
that
full.
Protein will keep you full.
Yeah, dude. I smoked a crap ton of chicken last night so that I could eat on it all week.
I didn't think you were going to say
delicious.
chicken.
Whoops. All right. How about we do a show?
There it is.
All right. There you go.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Let me get my notes and we'll start off this thing.
Mark.
All right. Here we go. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us for this week's Camp Mograph recap special from Profanity TV, Mark Cernosa.
Hello.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, show topic ideas. We're on mograph.com, and we are on youtube.com/mograph. If you want to check us out, check out all the info on the upcoming shows and such. Clinton Jones got sick, unfortunately. He couldn't make it today, so we're going to move him over. I did want to talk about what we got coming up. So Mark's here today. We're going to do the camp recap show. It's going to be a short show. Kind of a short show.
It will be a short show.
Will be a very short show.
Maybe.
Just depends on how we feel. I mentioned Clinton. We're going to try and schedule that for next month. I asked him about November 7th. We'll see if we can make that work. But I want to talk about the upcoming schedule as well, because Robert Hransky is going to be on next week. I don't know if you've seen his Star Wars piece that he did. I believe he gave a presentation on that at IBC. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but we do have an article, mograph.com/news. If you want to check out more on that, he'll be on next week. Then the next week, Matt, you are going to be at NAB East doing presentations there. Make sure you check that out. You're going to be doing the live thing, the running the live shows and things with Pickle Nick. And I will be here. It'll be a little bit different. Mark and I are going to do a show, and we're actually going to have a show about Mark. Not about camp, but like what Mark does.
It'll be like 3 shows that you've been on in the past 2 months.
I know.
Wow.
Baller.
I'm starting to feel like you're going to take my place. You know what, Mark?
No.
If I die, I fully give you permission to take my place.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I need. Another thing to do.
Yeah. And we've had you on so many times. We haven't really geeked out about 3D and such. There's a lot going on that we haven't talked about just because of camp and everything, like the new Cinema 4D and like stuff going on in the industry. Like there's a lot that we just I have bookmarks. People have been sending me stuff. Like there's so much to talk about. We're really behind. So we will get to that. We'll get some of that technical talk specifically on that day, I think. And so next week, check those out. And now if you're a TikToker, you might have come across Imaginerd 3D. He's going to be on the week after that. That's Lawrence Pompey. And then the week after, on Halloween, the spooky special with EJ and Ariev. So make sure that you are ready on Skype to call in that day so you can come and say hi and You know, we can give you some Halloween candy. You can come say trick or treat.
Get
We'll
the
have
Joy-Joys.
the Joy-Joys. We'll have the special set with the cauldron and all that we do. We'll get our green screens out.
Oh, the Joy-Joys.
The Joy-Joys. And
we gotta start.
yeah.
We gotta start the Simpsons.
I already started watching The Simpsons. I don't know what you're talking about. For those who don't know, we watch Halloween episodes of The Simpsons like every day through Halloween, and whatever day of the month it is the number of the episode you should be on. So we should be on the 3rd Halloween episode now.
Which is season 4, technically.
Is it 4 or 5?
I think it's 4 because I don't think season 1 has a Halloween episode.
Gotcha. But there's also, now we're beyond 31, right? So there's more than 31.
Yeah.
And there's
I have never actually made it all the way through.
Really?
Yeah, I normally
I've made it.
trail off around episode like 15 or so.
Well,
Not
all the
because
good
the
ones
shows
are early.
bad, but because I get busy.
Yeah.
How do we get Matt Groening to camp?
Dude, seriously.
Yeah. Come on.
He's from
we'll
Portland.
Just will it into existence.
Right?
Yeah. There you go.
Come on,
it's
Tom,
out in
pick
the
it up.
ether
You're
now.
in Portland,
Someone's
right?
gonna.
Oh no, you're Southern Oregon.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have on here? So we got that. I talked about what's coming up on the show. Also, just, you know, if you want to get in the mood, the replays of the previous Halloween episodes will be playing after the show today on Mograph TV. So if you're watching Mograph TV, it'll just start playing, or you could just switch over. Actually, if you're watching this show, I believe when it finishes, it will automatically go over to Mograph TV. So you can see the previous ridiculous episodes.
They're so ridiculous.
Yeah. And so put on Mograph TV, turn it on, rip the knob off, mograph.com/TV. Make sure you check it out. And also, classes, we need to make sure we get on this October discount for Winbush. We promised it on stage at Half Res. We're going to make that.
Yes.
What was the deal?
50% off.
50% off for
50%
October?
off. Yeah, for October.
Okay, we got to get on that. We'll flip that over. We'll flip that button. And RTX On. Also, we're really going to start talking more about RTX On. We kind of soft launched it. We haven't had much time to talk about it. We're going to have a special where you can ask Brandon questions and things. We have not scheduled it yet, but make sure you go check that out. Mograph.com/classes for Brandon's course. Just use the promo code Let's Go Brandon. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, no promos on that one yet. Yeah, no promos on his yet. It's brand new. Brush Up. Make sure you check out, if you like the drawings in the camp coloring book, make sure that you check out Caitlin's course, because you're going to learn everything about Procreate. There you go. And then you got, of course, Stop Being Afraid of Houdini, with Mark. That's the big one right there if you want to learn Houdini. You know Houdini.
Dude, so I was on the Houdini. I was on the Houdini, or I was on Reddit yesterday, and I saw someone asking questions in the Houdini channel, and it was from one of Mark's things. And I said, "Oh, this looks like you're working on Stop Being Afraid of Houdini. If you purchased it, you'll know that you can just ask questions to Mark directly about this. That is, unless you pirated it.
You pirated it. Thanks. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for notes and things before all the camp things,
Tessa's taking Brush Up. She says it's really great.
Nice,
there you go.
Nice. Camp, first of all, sponsors.
Yes. Let's hit up our sponsors.
Let's thank our sponsors.
Them,
yeah.
This was an amazing camp. It was an absolute amazing camp. I think it was one of the best one that we've had ever.
Yeah.
And it would not have been possible at all without our amazing sponsors. First off, our global sponsor, Otoy. We're so happy to have them on board this year as our Spider Lord sponsor. And it was so cool because Jules and his fiance May came out and visited, and it's such a huge trek all the way from the west coast to the east coast, and it's a long drive, and we appreciate them coming out and seeing what we were doing. But it was awesome to have them as a sponsor this year, so big thanks to them.
And I also saw a photo of her in an upcoming episode of something that might be, I hope this is, I saw it publicly. I'm assuming it's common knowledge now, but an episode of Strange New Worlds.
Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's going to be,
cool.
I guess, playing a role of, I forget the name of the character, but they look identical. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So check that out. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I completely derailed
that's okay.
you.
That's okay. Sponsors, our 2 Village sponsors, super excited to have them on board, and thank you so much for all of your support, both Maxon and Video Copilot. It was great to have them on board as sponsors again this year, and especially Maxon sent out a bunch of people. And what was cool, like, this is something that we didn't expect. And so if you're a company and you're looking to sponsor Camp Mograph, you know, like, they sent out quite a few people from their staff, and it really gave them a chance to one-on-one talk to all the different users and get some really good, you know, like, advice and like stuff that they would want to see. And it's a great opportunity for companies to do that. So if you're looking to sponsor, you know, that's a good way, that's a good in, right? Anyway. And then, of course, Grayscale Gorilla, our gold sponsor. Thank you so much for supporting. Nick came out. I was surprised that Nick came out. I was really happy he did. He seemed to have a really good time. I think he was bummed that he left so early and didn't stick around for all the rest of the festivities. But big shout out to all of our sponsors. We couldn't have done it without you. And I'll be hitting you up in the next few weeks about sponsoring next year.
Well, I actually heard from a lot of people, like, who was I talking to? I think it was Nate at Red Giant. I was talking about, you know, just the fact that we were talking about the fact that he's able to talk to people and really have in-depth conversations about what they want. It's not like when you get to run into someone for 10 minutes at a trade show. Like, you end up talking about everything, and then you know, end up getting on the topic of, like, oh, this plugin, you know, it would be really cool. You end up having an hour-long conversation about something like that. And that's, you know, the type of talk. I mean, it goes both ways, right? Sponsors, you know, are able to talk to customers and vice versa. You're really able to have a good conversation with, you know, maybe somebody that engineers the plugin or the software you're working on and say, look, this is really how I feel about this, and here's some things that would help. And yeah, it's real convos, you know. So
it's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
We cover all our sponsors.
That's
got
all
everybody.
of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So one last thanks to everybody. That was something we couldn't have done at all without them.
At all.
And that's, you know, how we keep the prices where they are.
You know, it helps us keep the prices low, and it also helps us like do all this amazing swag that we got for people. You know, the swag is just like this, for example, Caitlin Caju and James Ramirez, mostly Caitlin Caju. James only did one picture, you know, but like did this amazing coloring book. You know, you got
Barrel,
you know, and there's just like references to previous camps and stuff like that, and you get all the sponsors. It was cool. Then we had a big coloring contest at camp, you know, and the winners won you know, classes from Mograph.com. It was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But like all the swag, all the cool swag that we were able to give away because we had some great sponsors in there. Yeah.
Yeah. What other swag? The blankets.
The blanket.
That was awesome.
Do you have a blanket available? I don't have one in front of me.
I have one in here. I need to get one. I need to put one on my patio. That'd be a good place to put it. I've got it all in the garage in big duffel bags.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm in and out.
It's going through your TikTok filter.
You're like green screening out, Mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone got these cool, you know, Camp Mograph blankets, throws. Everyone got a Camp Mograph, custom printed Camp Mograph hacky sack, which, by the way, if y'all have one of these hacky sacks, don't let your dog eat one because they will get, you'll spend days cleaning them up. I know from, you know.
Not to mention the diarrhea.
Not to mention the diarrhea. And then check out the sweet patches. You got your awesome Maxon patch. You got your Video Copilot patch.
There you go.
You know, you got your Camp Mograph patch. You got your O-Toy patch. All those, put those on your backpack and stuff like that. Dude, what else we got? Oh, yeah, and then check out the custom printed Grayscale Gorilla one. You know, really cool. So,
and then we also knew for this year, we decided to do...
bag.
Yeah, we did like a nice little tote, little grocery getter bag there. But this year we did this cool little festival guide
Yeah, the zine.
Which had a lot of fun content in it, from mock advertisements to schedules and the camp map and all that, and also seconded as your notebook. So yeah, it was great. It was so nice to have this stuff. I think next year we'll do it again, and we have some improvements to make and some good stuff that came out of this year. But
speaking of which, if you got the email,
step it up.
Get that survey email filled out if you haven't already, campers. We want to know.
About 33 people fill them out, so that's a small fraction of it. But
we've had some great responses, and I mean, the only way these things get better is with the feedback.
100%. And if you think that we just send this out and we don't look at this, you're crazy, because we look at this and we figure out ways that we can make everything better based off of feedback. If there's even one person saying, hey, I wish we had this, we'll keep that in mind for the next year. Like, for example, next year we probably won't have like 6 pounds of shrimp per person, fried shrimp. And so that was a very good suggestion.
Right.
12.
Yeah. That's funny.
So, but I mean, honestly, like, the food was one thing, that's something that we're going to look at, because we thought, so I like to say this, the first year we had camp, the food was just incredible. It was so amazing. Yeah. Everyone kept talking about how good the food was. The second year, people were like, the food could be better, right? So we just thought it was a fluke that the second year wasn't as good, and then the third year was it was a lot of fried food, So we're like,
I mean, the food was fine. It's a summer camp and stuff,
but like,
we just don't need as much fried shrimp. But that's
I mean,
part of the experience.
My 39-and-a-half-year-old body can only handle so much fried food.
Right.
Even with the medications that I'm on.
But even still, to like back up a little bit, like looking overall, like Camp Silver Beach was so amazing. Like the staff there was awesome. We had a bunch of golf carts to zip people around, and because the campus is pretty spread out, which made it really awesome, and it felt like just very out in nature. But having the carts allowed us to shuttle people around a little bit quicker than just walking. But I mean, the facilities were amazing this year, from everything from the beach and the activities that they provided to where we had the fireside chats. It also comes down to the staff there as well. They're always, most of the time they're very, very gracious, and this year was, no exception. They were such a
phenomenal
great group, and they were, excited to have us there, which is always a good feeling from an event organizer standpoint. Like, if you have your host excited to have you back someday, like, that speaks volumes of just the event and the people that are there. So thanks to everyone who came for that as well. We left that place looking just as good as we found it, if not better. So yes, appreciate all the help with that as well. So
and thanks to our other director, Julie, as well, who's not on the call today.
Yeah,
the
we
fourth
could not
director.
Do food and drink without her at all. Like, yes.
She's
so much of the
liaison for a lot of from us to the camp staff, and really working on dialing in the bar and the food.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the small organization things that have to happen, from creating menus and taking in account everybody's food allergies or whatnot. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and it's definitely a team effort, and we wouldn't be able to do it without Julie. So I know she's probably listening, so thank you,
she's watching
Julie.
right now. Yeah. Taking care of Poppy downstairs.
Hi, Poppy.
Actually, I think she might be napping right now. Poppy is, anyway. Yeah, there's a lot that we do behind the scenes to try and get prepped and make sure that we're ready to go, and that we have all of our supplies.
This year the logistics were really hard, especially because of the shuttle situation. The shuttles, it was rough. I mean, for those who don't know, like the distance from camp, or from the airport to camp, was an hour and 15 minutes or something. Right. And it didn't feel like it, because like it was broken up between Norfolk and then the
scenic drive,
the bridge. You were on there for like 20 minutes, and then and so it didn't feel like it, but man, like that's a 3-hour round trip, you know.
Yeah.
And so if we're having shuttles coming every hour and a half or so, you know, we had to have 6 shuttles at one point, which was insane.
Well, and for people who don't know, year 1 we decided, hey, we should offer a free shuttle, and we did. And camp was like maybe 45 minutes from the airport. Then last year we did it again in Portland.
It was only 30 minutes,
and it was only like a half hour, and we're like, oh, this is great. And then so we've almost painted ourselves into a corner of
now we have to offer the shuttle.
Maybe we'll hire somebody.
So, but yeah, it's a big challenge, and Dave and Matt really like took it upon them, and especially Dave, to really figure out those schedules and
minute by minute
with
the
3-hour round trip. That's it's a lot of logistics.
That became our phrase through the whole thing. Anytime there's a question, it's on the spreadsheet.
It's on the spreadsheet. That became your thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to answer my question.
Well, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I'm an asshole. It just depends.
Yeah, what was cool is like, and this year we didn't, you know, have one person just running shuttles all day. We knew that was going to kill them. So we, you know, handed off the staff, like, so one person would only take 1 shuttle per day, which
we really tried.
Yeah.
We really tried to spread that. And to our staff who drove shuttles, thank you so much. You know,
yes, absolutely.
We throw stuff, especially like Jags. We threw him like a curveball that last day, and we're like, "Hey, we need you to drive for like 3 hours in the morning." So yeah, big thanks there. You know,
Well, and outside of Jags himself as well, like, I mean, all the volunteers. Again, talking about a community effort and a group effort to make this thing happen. We can't do it without the people who volunteer. So thank you again. You know, it couldn't happen without you.
It couldn't. No. And this year was so it's our 3rd year doing it, and I was amazed at where we were by the end of the first day. You know, when we get in a day early, you know, and, you know, we normally make sure that we're all set up and we've got all the swag and everything packed and we're ready to go. You know, it's not normally until that first camper comes in the next day that we're finally all mostly set up.
Yeah.
But by the end of that first day, we were good.
Feeling ready.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was very, very comforting. And we couldn't have done it without the amazing volunteers that we had this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yep.
And of course to our campers.
Let's talk about Fireside or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the notes. We didn't have a lot of notes here, but
No.
Fireside.
First Fireside chat was Thursday night. It was John Lepore, and it was awesome. Like, he was so funny. He had this like notepad that he had drawn some stuff on, you know, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna let y'all choose your own adventure. And what was the first one? The first one was like, let's talk all things Marvel, and then let's talk business, and then the other one was like, let's get super high and talk about and freak out about AI. That's what it was.
It's funny. Yeah.
And so as he'd go through the night, you know, he'd rip off one of the pieces of paper and throw it into the fire that we had going next to the. It was so cool to actually have like a fireside chat with a fire next to us that people could sit around.
I know, it was perfect. The setting was great.
So it was really, really good. But we had a really good time. Everyone really enjoyed it. And then the next night, Amanda Russell just absolutely killed it. Like, so good. She wrote this amazing piece on her LinkedIn. If you're not connected to Amanda Russell, like, go find her on LinkedIn and look at this. It was like several paragraphs about how nervous she was about talking, and that, you know, once it was all over, she just killed it. It was so good. So good. Yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, it's a really tough thing to describe kind of the whole camp vibe, right? Like, you try to explain to people what it's like and that it's pretty low key and laid back, but you really don't understand how it is until you're actually there. And, you know, I think Amanda definitely went out on a limb because she's never really done this public speaking stuff, and she came out, you know, willing to give it a shot. And I think, you know, fit right in, and you would never have known that she was, you know, new to this kind of speaking thing.
Yeah, I didn't find out till
very,
after.
like, casual and natural. So
Yeah.
it was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had walked off back behind where the single cabins were, you know, kind of over by the beach. Oh, I had not walked off. I stole one of the golf carts and drove over there. But I could still hear her, you know, speaking, and I was laying in one of the hammocks just listening to her talk and staring up at the sky, and I saw a beautiful shooting star, and I was like, this is a perfect moment right here. This is what camp's all about.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, that does kind of sum it up in a way. You know, a lot of like serendipitous moments and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Amanda talked about some amazing things. You know, she's one of the founders of Cream Studio. And yeah, I mean, the tough thing is I would love to just like talk all about these things. But the point about coming to camp is that like all this happens at camp and then you're just, you had to be there type thing, you know.
It's like explaining VR, right? You don't get VR until you put on a headset and you try out VR. You know, 100%. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know,
had to be there.
You had to be there type thing. Like, we could record these, right? We could film all of them, and sometimes we do just for our own like archive, but we don't.
I think we do actually have them all recorded, but we just won't.
We don't
them,
post
you
them
know?
because like it's cool for sure. I think people would get a value out of it, but it's more of the reason to come to camp.
Yeah,
So
we
you could be a part of that.
video things so that we can have clips of things for, you know, social or something we're going to show later, but we're never going to really like post the whole thing or something like that, you know.
There was
right.
one point, Freddie was the last one to speak, and there was one point when he's like, all right, I'm going to tell you all this story, but you got to turn off the cameras.
Right.
So we had to turn off all the cameras and stuff. It was so funny. It was so good.
Yeah.
And that story, I have
didn't
thought
say
about
that
several
third night,
times. Yeah, so the third night we had Freddie Wong, both Freddie and Clint were up there. Clint was moderating, and it was so cool. Like, for someone who has followed Freddie's career, you know, since the very beginning, he was so influential on me as a, you know, VFX 3D animation guy. You know, it was very cool to hear him speak and, you know, listen to his stories and stuff, because he's such a good storyteller, you know, and he's got so many good ones and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It's so funny because Freddie, he like, if you get him, you put him in a situation like that where, like, you know, he's talking and he's the center of attention and stuff, and like he's super energetic and blah blah blah. You talk to him outside and he's just like a super chill dude. He's just like, hey, what's going on?
Until you bring cheeseburgers.
Until everyone is really drunk at like, you know, midnight, and I bring like 42 cheeseburgers. It was like 22 cheeseburgers and 22 chicken sandwiches and 100 nuggets. And those got devoured in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you should have seen his eyes light up when that happened. He was so excited.
And just a camp disclaimer that no one was super drunk. People were enjoying libations.
Yeah.
And, you know, having a good time.
Right. Yeah. No, we're
asterisk.
That's one nice thing about, like, you know, the average age of camp being like 35 is that, you know, most of us will probably feel it the next day, and we've kind of known our limitations for the past 14 years of, you know, libations.
And Julie,
RRR.
I thought it was cool too, because, like, you know, full disclosure, I knew of Freddie, but I had really no idea who he was.
Yeah.
And you were like super hyped on him. I'm like, all right, I mean, sounds great, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool that he came and gave his, you know, thoughts on, you know, just nothing even like technical, more of like that kind of creative, like inspirational type stuff of just like go try things. And we found success when we were just, you know, doing this, and we were having fun with it, and yada yada. So
Julie says thanks, by the way. She says love you guys. She sent me a text, and also thanks bartender Bill and Jake for helping at the
Bartender
bar.
Bill.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Jake. Yeah, they man, that was. Bill became a celebrity.
A legend. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
celebrity among us.
Yeah.
He'll be back every year, I hope.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Legend of Bill.
The Legend of Bill.
Did you hear?
But yeah.
Did you hear the Legend of Bill? He poured like
Yeah.
20,000
Oh,
drinks
here
in
we
1
go.
hour.
Yeah, here we go with the legends.
But yeah, it was great having everyone from the firesides at camp, because another thing that makes camp special is that you'll have these people we bring in to do our fireside chat, which is essentially our keynote of that night. And those people are just hanging out with you, and you might not even know it's them.
Yeah.
It's all like very first name basis, and you're not like, hey, what's your Twitter handle, or
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
get there, but you meet people on like a human level and first name level, and I think that makes a massive difference for everyone just connecting at camp and really just kind of making the most of it, and you're not feeling intimidated or you don't have these people put up on a pedestal in front of you, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
What's great is like when you find out, when you're sitting there chatting with someone for 20 minutes, half an hour, and you finally figure out who they are, and you're like, oh, that's you? Like, you were influential in my career, Oh, that's you. It's those types of moments, and I've heard people say, that there were several of those, which is great.
Yeah, Dryzen actually in the chat, he says, what are y'all's favorite moments from camp? I think we can talk about ours and probably get some people to put their favorites in the chat as well. But the thing that I just love in general is when you are kind of off the beaten path at camp. You're like, maybe you leave, and I mentioned this last week, maybe you leave to go grab something from your cabin, or maybe like Matt, you were in the hammock or whatever, and you're sitting there and you hear kind of like the laughter and the sounds and all the things kind of in the distance. That is like the echo that happens in your head after you leave camp. And I think that's why so many of us are in the camp Discord now after camp, like, miss you guys.
Yeah.
Like it's just that feeling. You want to hold on to that feeling,
Yeah. As Anna from the first camp said, if you don't leave camp feeling like you've joined a cult, you didn't enjoy camp.
Right.
Yeah. Another camp disclaimer: we are not a cult.
We are not a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want us to be.
We're gonna have to just get a ticker going across the bottom of this thing.
Right.
Allegedly. I'll just remember at the end of the show, I'll just say allegedly.
Allegedly.
And so it's all void.
My favorite moment of camp was, and like honestly, I wasn't sure how this was gonna be. I was like, "There's no way this is gonna be cool." Freaking bingo! Bingo was so much fun, dude. Mark, I had doubts. I'm sorry, but you know what? It was the most fun I had there, and it was so cool. Like, people got into it. I did not think people would get into it as much as possible. We were giving away like $20 and like classes.
That's some top tier prizes,
Top tier prizes, yeah. And then
I mean, here's the thing about bingo, and this is why it just works, and this is why any age can play it. It's because it takes no skill, right?
Right.
You just have to sit there and mark your numbers and letters.
Right.
And it was so funny leading up to bingo night. So we ended up doing bingo night on Sunday night, which was the last night of camp, because we didn't have a fireside chat that night. So this was after a long weekend, everyone hanging out, like figuring it was probably going to be, people are going to be tired, kind of winding down a bit, like bingo might be a perfect thing. So we bought a bingo set, like the whole little roll cage and all that, and played bingo, and we had cash prizes. We had prizes from some of the instructors and people at camp, like Sean with the Shelter Cultivation Project. We had a shirt given by Justin Biffer, who came to do the tie-dyeing stuff.
Yeah.
We had cash prizes. We did Mograph.com classes, and we also did a ticket to camp, next year's camp. And so that was the final one. And if you were paying attention to any of the social media and whatnot, from camp, you had probably seen Byron, who won, just having a blast, like getting so excited, and the whole place erupting when he actually won. I mean, it was one of those kind of moments where you had to like, I don't know, you can see it in these videos, but man, it was pretty
being
awesome.
There is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bingo's just amazing. People were like, wait, don't like old people play this? And but if you can sit there and win $20 by not doing anything, like, I mean, how can you hate that? So, yeah, it was a great way to wrap up the final night, and everybody really got into it. I think it was the
you got into it.
Yeah,
look
at you
running around. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, 69. Yeah.
Exactly. For those who weren't there, the final letter to win it all was O in bingo, 069, and the whole cafeteria erupted. So
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Pep rally energy, totally.
Yes,
I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was amazing, and it was super fun to get other people involved. We had other people come up and read call the different balls coming out. And yeah, I mean, it was amazing, and I think it's a great thing to have at camp each year. It gives a great way to wrap things up, and it gives everyone a chance to win something more, or win more than what they came to camp with. So
yeah, now that we know it's it's a good idea, I'll start hitting up more sponsors and seeing if we can get some fun, some more fun prizes.
For sure. As you all can see, a lot of people wearing tie-dye shirts.
The tie-dye man was amazing.
Justin Bifford
Justin
came to camp.
Freaking
awesome.
killed it.
Yeah.
Like, that guy, I didn't think it was that much work to do tie-dye, but oh my gosh, it was like he was working nonstop from the second he got there.
Totally. Well, you don't have to give much effort, but they're going to look terrible.
Yeah.
But, I mean, his process, I learned more about cotton shirts than I had ever thought there was to know about them. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But what was so cool about Justin coming was that, Matt, you had discovered him on TikTok. We reached out to him. He's like, yeah, what the heck, I'll come. And it wasn't even like a class, a scheduled workshop or anything. It was just an activity to help tie-dye. But like Matt just said, he was there all day, hanging out, tie-dyeing shirts with people. It ended up becoming kind of like a little bonus workshop. And it ended up being great. And he was right next to Sean Dumont doing the screen printing one, and Imani doing the tripped out texturing one. So
tripped out texturing was super cool. And honestly, all the hands-on stuff was just so great.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was at like the art barn area, and it was awesome because you could really go get hands-on. You could, at the last day of camp, we ended up just doing a bunch of screen printing on the t-shirts and
on the
stuff,
actual t-shirts.
We had some extra things, and it wasn't t-shirt ink, but we're like, well, what the heck, we'll put it on and we'll see what happens. And so some people walked away with some gems of shirts and different kind of take-home things. Everyone got to make a poster. So I think incorporating the art side of things and the hands-on side of things is always important at camp, and will definitely continue to be this important, because you definitely can see people resonate with kind of playing like a kid again, and just getting their hands dirty. Like Sean had ink all over his face one day and just hanging out. It was pretty awesome, and it really complemented the other side of the workshops, which were a little bit more focused on like more career oriented stuff. So I don't know if Matt or Dave, you want to talk about some of those, but
yeah, it was great. We had we got so much positive feedback on the business ones, and so many people had said that it was great to have. It was great having the hands-on art stuff, but it was also great, for the businessy side, the more running your own business, creating a brand, time and task management, storytelling and stuff like that. And it was so good because you got a good balance of both, which was awesome.
Well, and I thought what was really cool too, and I think this just happened, it just happened by chance, but also probably since the workshops were geared certain ways, but like the hands-on arts and crafts one definitely were more just kind of, you know, free flowing, not a whole lot of like agenda with them. It was like, we're gonna make stuff and it's awesome. And then where like the more of the career stuff came, like you could tell those people had spent, or those presenters had spent a lot of time just thinking about what they were going to talk about and really preparing some slides and whatnot. So I think it was a really nice balance of like getting some hardcore knowledge on career stuff and then just going to have fun and playing with art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that balance is working, and we'll continue that.
Yeah, and I love that, like, you know, you kind of had like two big areas where that stuff was. That really worked out this camp. You know, I don't know if it'll be like that for the rest of camp, you know, for every other year, but like it worked out really well like that. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, even Sam did the capturing motion workshop, which was really cool, explaining the whole process of motion capture.
Yeah,
we thought that was
there you go, right there. Check it out.
Yeah, it was really cool being able to walk into that and just seeing random people dressed in these Rococo suits, you know, just doing motion capture stuff. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and for those who accidentally or on purpose left their little, you know, Amani, you know, tripped out texturing things, we did not keep them, but Luigi at camp. Awesome Luigi. We love Luigi. He's one of the residents there, basically. He said he was going to take them all and glue them all together into one big picture.
Yeah, he's repurposing the extra canvases to make a new piece of art.
New piece.
He said, go for it, brother. That's awesome. Hey, you know, before we forget, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who was there for doing these workshops. Billy Chitkins, who did the storytelling workshop, Sean Dumont with the screen printing, Amani LaRussa with the tripped out texturing. We had Joel Pilger doing the business of Mograph, and then Jen Van Horn with time and task management, and then finding your style with Alex Parker, and capturing bodies in motion with Sam Lazarus. So thank you so much for being a part of camp this year.
Yeah.
Everyone, we've just heard great things from everybody. Thank you for all the time and effort you put into your workshops. We very much appreciate it.
Yes, and a huge shout out to both Nick and Jags, who were running around all weekend shooting stuff. Like, they didn't put those cameras down, you know. We didn't ask them. Yeah, we didn't ask them to be up and running around the whole time, but
like
they
24/7. But they did. Yeah,
we appreciate it. We really appreciate all the hard work that they put in order to, you know, capture whatever they could. So
well, and you know what's so funny about camp is that since we're all like nerds, everyone comes with like their toys. There's drones flying all around.
Drones were so much fun. Like,
there was all the night photography happening. Like all these people, like everyone brought like creative toys, you know. And I thought that was so cool because just the stuff that I've seen people post on Instagram and on the different social channels, I'm like, oh my god, like so incredible to see some of the stuff people are making.
The night photography.
the clip here of
so good. So Chris Schmidt is driving his drone around, flying his drone around, and then Kevin Rupp from Maxon starts like leading him around and stuff. That was where we were doing the tie-dyeing and stuff. And then
this turned into such a great shot, like such a great shot. And it just kind of happened, you know.
It's so funny.
This is so great.
That's the screen printing.
Yeah. So Chris decided to like fly under this table, and when he comes around, like this perfect little thing happens with Kevin, and it's oh man, it's the best. You'll have to go check it out. So Chris Schmidt is chasing Kevin around with the avatar, and you know, I think he posted this on his YouTube or something, but it was perfect. I mean, he got the shot, like, of course, you know. It's Kevin, so like this is just perfect. This is just perfect.
Well, and this is also giving you a good idea of some of the activities, like That's one of the shirts that got made on the last day.
Oh man, so good.
But yeah, I mean, we had some fantastic activities this year. There was like a climbing wall, like adventure tower type thing.
Yeah, the Alpine Tower. Yeah.
Archery.
Yeah.
A big plus I thought this year was we had a beach, like right.
Oh man, it's gonna be hard to top.
Yeah.
Chesapeake Bay.
Uh-huh.
We had with stand-up paddle boards and kayaks, and it was. Man, I went out a few days. It was so nice, just cruising around. Water was like bath water.
Yeah.
And, you know,
in a good way.
It's not necessarily an activity, but just hanging out on the beach, the sand was so nice. Like,
yeah.
Man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I will take full responsibility for not starting and having the sandcastle building competition.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
we didn't even think about that.
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
Mograph.
Yeah. Mograph bathwater. You can buy that. Mograph.com/bathwater.
Right. I wish we could get a
thing.
beach every year. We try and we try. Here's the positive thing about doing it like the YMCA summer camps is most of them have like a lake, but it's really hard to get a beach, you know.
Yeah.
So
So we apologize
all the ones that we've been looking at and all the ones that we've previously looked at are all on a lake, you know, but man, that beach was pretty incredible. And what was amazing is that so the peninsula that we were on, you know, in the Chesapeake, the sunset in the west like it always does, but the water is in the west as well. So we're on the east coast watching a, you know, western sunrise or sunset on the water, and it was so incredible. It was beautiful.
Yeah. And that was one of those kind of happy accidents. Like first and foremost, we just lucked out on weather for camp. Holy
Seriously.
cow. It was like it could not get any better.
Yeah.
And
Could've
now
been raining.
we're getting remnants of some of these hurricanes. It's like torrential downpours and all that.
Yep.
Speaking of which,
yeah. Well,
I hope everybody's
shout out to all
good.
of our campers who are getting through the hurricane season right now.
Yeah.
You know, some people got displaced after Ian came ashore on Florida, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check in with Brodeur. Brodeur had to leave as well. And
Yeah.
send him a message, make sure he's good.
Jack, you say Mograph Hawaii, but here's what I'll tell you about Mograph Hawaii. And, you know, every time someone says Mograph Hawaii, you know, you think it would be fun, but it wouldn't, because it would be no different than like any other YMCA summer camp. Because I've actually looked at the one in Hawaii's, and they're exactly the same. They're just on a beach. You know, it would be better to go to Virginia than it would be to Hawaii, because, you know, there's no difference. You know, if you're not leaving the camp to go
I mean, it would be different if you were like in Hawaii.
Right.
Maybe destination Mograph, you know.
If you're going to camp, you know, like, and you're not going to Hawaii to explore, if you're just going to be at camp the whole time, you know, why go to Hawaii? You know?
Yeah, you could go do.
If we're gonna go to Hawaii, we're gonna do a destination, and then we're gonna get lots of cool stuff, and we're gonna go explore, and we're gonna do all this other cool stuff.
You get a helicopter. You get a helicopter.
Yeah.
You get a.
That's destination Mograph.
Destination Mograph.
No. I love Hawaii. Don't get me wrong. I love Hawaii.
He spent a lot of time in Hawaii.
I have.
Yes.
You know, but it's like why would you go to a summer camp in Hawaii? If you're gonna do Hawaii, if you're gonna do a destination, you got to do it right. You do the destination. You do the
like Iceland
Adventures by Mograph.
Yeah,
you know,
Iceland.
Yeah.
I keep saying it.
So.
I'm going to Iceland next summer, so whoever wants to go with me, it's gonna happen one way or another.
Yep.
Yeah, did we cover everything? Well, are there anything else anyone in the chat wants to talk about? We got a lot of campers here.
You drink the No, I am not a native Hawaiian. No. My dad worked there for like 7 or 8 years, and so anytime we wanted to go, we could just fly over there and just stay for free.
My dad owns a dealership.
My dad owns it.
That's a throwback.
Yeah,
Mograph Iceland
is dope. We would love to do. So okay, guys, what's the future? Like, what's anything? I mean, we are going to do it next year, right?
A camp? Well, sure.
camp.
I'm
We're gonna
sure
do
there
that.
will be a camp
All
next
right.
year. I sure hope so.
So, yeah, stick
You know,
around.
Pending on a global pandemic or something,
Right.
you know. Oh, wait.
Oh wait,
We already went through
I
that.
already did that.
Yeah.
The 100-year flood that happens every 3 years now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Or the, I'm joking.
Hmm.
I digress.
No war, please. No world wars, so that we can continue having camps, please. Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, things are already in motion.
Yep.
The wheels are spinning.
Yep.
Yep.
Emails are flying
Emails are
across the
flying.
internet, and we're in the planning stages. But
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean it's hard to just. It's hard because you want to jump into the next one and you want to carry this energy into it, but it's also like time to kind of like relish in how awesome this past year was. And,
Right.
You know, if we can keep, you know, kind of turning it up year after year, and it doesn't have to get bigger. It doesn't have to do what, you know, we can do whatever we want with it. But like, even this year was a little bit different just because we tried to do cooler swag and like not as many like little promo ding dags.
John Haley
Sure,
said
why
the
not?
keyframes are easing.
Right.
It's a good analogy.
I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
We're easing out
Yeah.
right now.
We're easing out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just exciting. And again, this is our personal project.
It is.
You would laugh at us if you wanted event advice, because if you're trying to make a business out of it. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a passion thing for us, and we love it, and we're so happy and excited and humbled that people are into it as well. So
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing we can get out of it. So
Here's the thing that I've learned from 3 years of Camp Mograph, the thing that I'm taking away from it, and that I don't think anyone will be no one will be able to know what Camp Mograph really is without experiencing it. And that's the biggest thing. Like, all 3 years, you know, there have been different things for each year that, you know, may not have been the greatest. Like, the first year was very cold, you know, but when we look back on Camp Mograph all 3 years, we don't think about that. We just think about the good vibes and the friends that we made along the way. You know?
I mean, imagine if it rained like the whole time, just you know, torrential rains the whole time. You know, we would still sit and make the best of it. You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're all sleeping in bunk beds. We're all eating the same fried shrimp. You know.
All putting our pants on 2 legs at a time. You know.
Right.
We're all the same.
Exactly. Waking up, doing it again. But I mean, just thanks to everybody who came and all the support that we've had from our sponsors, from our campers, from our past alumni campers or camp alumni. I mean, people get it and they're into it, and so we're happy to keep doing this thing as long as you know, it's resonating with you. So thanks for allowing us to keep doing it.
Yeah, you'll hear from us eventually on that. You know, we have to put a lot into checking out other camps because there's a lot of criteria. You know, you can't just pick any camp. We kind of know what we need now, and only certain places have the right combination of things that we need to make it happen. You know, some of them might not allow alcohol. You know, it's like, okay, well, we got
some of them.
You know, that's a deal
right
breaker.
Now, we have hit a specific level of, you know, you have to make sure that you're not too rustic. You know, and that you're not too bougie, you know, I'm sure there's people who would love the bougie and people who wouldn't mind the rustic, but like, you know, we want an even balance.
And then we got to check them out. We got to actually go check them out ahead of time, make sure like they have the right vibe and that the staff and everybody has the right vibe. You know, you really want to make sure that it's. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna be able to top that vibe from this year, but you know,
I will say,
we'll certainly try.
The extra day really did it. Like that was
I loved that.
It was a great addition. Was that extra day? You know, and I didn't think, you know, when we announced it, I didn't think that many people were going to take advantage of the extra day, but almost everyone did, and it was awesome. It was great. It was super great. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, this year we added an extra day of just activities and chilling out. We had a later brunch instead of a early breakfast. There's like a Bloody Mary bar, juice bar, stuff like that. And it was a great time for people just to hang out and hang out with their new friends, or have those conversations that you've kind of been holding off on throughout the other part of the weekend. So yeah, that's definitely something I think we'll keep incorporated into the event, and yeah,
along with the lore and everything else. Hey Rev, what's up?
Yeah,
you're late, Rev. I think that's about it, though. We're gonna wrap up. We said it's gonna be a short show. Anything else y'all want to add, or we good to go?
I think that's it.
It's good.
It was a good time. Thank you to all the campers who came. Everyone who put their faith in us to do a good event. It wasn't a great event without y'all, and y'all are amazing. Yeah. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to our sponsors, and shout out to everyone who made this event so great.
And you know what's? It just slipped my mind. It was
made possible by viewers like you.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no, that every year we have this same conversation and we say, man, I don't know how we're going to top last year. Like, it was so good. And year after year, it's like, I don't know how we're going to top that one, and it just happens. So that's what makes them all unique. You can go to every single one and they'll all be different. So
that's the joy about like switching locations. Not a lot of conferences and stuff do that where they switch locations. But I think, man, this is like, and I'm not saying we won't ever go back to some of these other ones. We've discussed it, but this
cycle them.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I would like to say, if you are watching us for the first time and you're a camper, you haven't checked out the show, we do this every Monday. So come hang out, chat, chill, say hi to guests and whatnot, and also check out Mograph TV, because after this, you're going to see the previous Halloween episodes, and you can kind of get amped for Halloween, and you can get amped for our Halloween episode we're going to do on Monday the 31st. So that's mograph.com/TV, or you can just see, look at our live stuff on our YouTube channel right now. I believe this stream will flip over. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review on your podcatcher of choice, help get our ratings up, subscribe to our newsletter as well. It goes out every once in a while. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee, the Mograph Blandishment shirt, and of course the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're shams.
Or if you're drinking That Render is Fire, special cocktail from Camp Mograph.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think a lot of people enjoyed the daily though.
Yeah. The daily, yes.
Yeah.
The daily was good.
Cool. Well, I guess that about wraps it up. We'll see you next time. Till next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Mark.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Bye. You gotta go out on the Camp Mograph track.
Oh, yeah. Should I flip over to that? Yeah, I'll do that. Let me find it real quick. Camp Mograph.
We can learn and play.
Here we go. Oh yeah, I should also add allegedly. It's playing. We got the camp song.
Just splice in allegedly wherever you think you need to.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, I'm excited now. Like,
hold on, are we still live?
Oh yeah, we're still playing the camp song right now.
Yeah, so don't say anything you shouldn't.
We could just go back to our screens. Let's do it. Here.
Run around in depth of fields and take a ride on Mr. Horse.
Yeah.
Maybe make the motion corpse. Ditch trap code with our soaps. When they say fix it in post, and you know that won't work so well. Tell them go to Camp Mograph, where we can learn and play. Camp Mograph, where we escape the age and say, spend your days out in nature, then you need a pixel pushing teacher. Camp Mograph, we're here with you today.
All right. right. You can find that on Spotify and iTunes, by the way. All right.